Hello, this is our house at San Pastor, Couret, and I'm going to give you a quick tour round by video. So this is the entrance hall, or the porch I should say, and then you come into the hallway, which is where the entree is on the floor plan. So there's not much to say about the hall. There's an electric meter and stuff here. There's a radiator down here. There's the doorway behind you with the sort of archway, and that's pretty much it. And then you go from the entrance hall going to the right. There's double doors here that take you into the living room. So this is the living room. You've got a wood burning stove there which works. You've got two largish windows and a small window. They're all single glazed, and there are two radiators one below each of the big windows. In the corner of the room there's a small sort of sink unit. I think this room was once divided up as a small apartment, because it could be closed off and be independent. The flooring is all the old terracotta tiles, and from the living room you've also got a small toilet and shower room, and we've got a dog in here at the moment because it's thundering and she's frightened. So you've got a shower cubicle, you've got the toilet, and you've got the hand basin, and you've got a radiator there as well. So we're back in the hallway, and from the hall opposite the living room you go to the left hand side and you go into this room. It's marked number 5 on the floor plan. We use it as a bedroom. Again, it's got single glazed windows with a radiator underneath. It's got a newly laid floor. It had a doorway to another room, but we've blocked that up, but that could easily be opened up again if anybody wanted to do that. So going from the entrance hall again, you go into the room that's marked 4 on the floor plan, and it's basically a utility room. You've got a sink unit here with cupboards underneath. You've got the washing machine plumbed in here. You've got access to the attic, the ladder here. You've got the hot water pump, which is electric, and it's also got a solar panel on the roof, so it uses the electricity when it needs to, otherwise it's heated by solar power from the roof. And then this is the heat pump, which was installed, I think it was in 2021 that was installed. And then from that room you go into room number 7 on the floor plan, which is basically not used for very much at the moment. It does have, you can just see on the wall there are 2 marks there where the taps used to be. And there is also a drain on the floor underneath, so it could have, we think it was used for cheese making when the farm was owned as a dairy farm. There's no windows in this room, but there is a light to the next room, so you do get some natural daylight into this room. From that room you go into room number 6 on the floor plan, which we use more or less as an office. Again, you've got a single glazed window, you've got a radiator below, and you've got a newly laid floor. The door here that we've had blocked connects to the previous room, so that's this is room 6. The room through there is room 5 on the floor plan. From room 7 you go into room 8, which is the kitchen. So you've got 2 windows here which are double glazed. You've got plumbing for the dishwasher here, sink, you've got the radiator underneath the window, and you've got some cupboard space and cooker over in that corner. So from the kitchen, room 8, you go into room 9 on the floor plan, which we use as a bedroom. You've got 2 single glazed windows in here, you've got the radiator, and you've got the old floor tiles. This room has had a new ceiling put in, so it's got really thick insulation in this room, more than the rest of the house. And from the kitchen, if you go out of the kitchen door, which is marked C on the floor plan, you go onto a little sort of terraced area, and there's a small room down some steps here, which we just use for storage, but I guess it could be used for something else if anybody wanted to. Then going in the opposite direction from the kitchen, you go down a couple of steps which are marked A on the floor plan into a sort of space which is number 10 on the floor plan. To the left, number 11 on the plan, you've got a small bathroom with small window, bath. It's a short bath. The French call them a sabot. You've got hand basin and you've got the toilet. And then you come out of the bathroom, and this isn't really very clear at all on the floor plan, but there are some steps which are marked as number 15, and they go up into this attic area. Where you've got 2 windows, a small one there which gives out onto the roof of the kitchen, and a slightly larger one there which looks out onto the kitchen terrace area. Different heights here, so you've got this area which is all one level. There's a small door over there which goes into an attic space, and there's a skylight up here. And then you can go up some more steps, and there's another small area with a radiator here. So then you come down the steps from that attic space. There's a cupboard under the stairs, which is quite useful. And then you go into the room marked number 12 on the floor plan, which is currently used as a bedroom. You've got a small window over here and a single radiator on the wall there. It's got another space off it, number 13 on the plan, which is a kind of dressing room. And then you've got another room, number 14, which has radiator over in the corner there. And then it has a doorway here, which is D on the plan, which gives out onto a terrace.
Yeah.
So coming out of room 12, I'm into space 10 here. And if you go this way from space 10, you have a small sort of hallway. On the left, room 19 on the plan is a sort of pantry, storage area. No heating in here, very, very tiny holes in the wall, so it's fairly cool in here most of the year. And opposite that, room 18 on the plan is a room with a shower, a hand basin and a washing machine. Then coming out of room 17, you come into space 21 on the plan. It's marked as a grenier because there is actually a attic space above the rooms that we've just been in. This is a space that has got electric supply. It's got 3-phase electrics out here as well. There's a doorway here which takes you out onto the terrace, the same terrace you could see from the previous bedroom. All of the workings for the swimming pool are in this area here. So you've got, I don't really know what they all are, but you've got pumps and filters and water inlets and outlets all here if you wanted to restore the swimming pool. You've then got the exterior part of the pumper chaleur, the heat pump, where the cold air comes out. It's a fan system. You've got a big double doorway here which looks out onto the swimming pool. That goes from space 20, where you can see there's a dark line on the floor plan. That marks where the doors are. And then going a bit further along this space 20, it's kind of divided up. This area is more of a workshop area. Again, it's got all the electrics, it's got various sockets, it's got 3-phase in here somewhere as well. Lot of headspace, lot of potential to do something with this space if you wanted to. There's also a water tap on the wall over there. Then there's another tiny space. This is the space marked C on the floor plan. Again, this is just used for storing gardening tools basically at the moment. And then the doorway from C takes you back to the little window here, which is the corner of the living room.